Welcome back to another gatorSTUDIOS video. Why do I have a t-shirt on my head? That's not important, don't think about it. Anyways, today we are doing a One Piece arc tier list. I watched One Piece throughout last year. It's like one of the greatest pieces of media I've ever watched. But okay. Ever since I got halfway, I was like, dude, I kind of want to do a tier list. That would be fire. This is the time. This is the time. Ooh. So we're gonna get into it, and keep in mind this is just my opinion. You know, we're just doing some opinionage. That's all it really is. All right, so we have S, A, B, C, D, F. Here are all the arcs. There's so many One Piece arcs. In fact, there are actually some there's some arcs that are technically considered arcs and they have names, but I genuinely forgot, Long Ring Long Land. I had genuinely realistically had to re-look that up. Like, it's not that I forgot the arc. I remember the arc 100%. I just had to look it up because I forgot the name. There's a lot of One Piece arcs. There's probably more than this that's on this tier list, but we're going to do this anyways. Starting off with Alabasta. Alabasta, in my personal opinion, is a S arc. I might do some editing later on, but right now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep Alabasta at S. Alabasta. Shut up, dude. Alabasta is really good. I really like it. It kind of feels like, it is the start of, the way the arcs work out after that, from that time on. But it just kind of feels like the first time the crew really, locks in. If that makes sense. Because, they locked in Arlong Park, but before that, it all just kind of felt like they were just running around chaotically. This is the first time it felt like they were locked in, had a mission. They were really doing what they were doing, sticking to their guns. It's fire. Drum Island, also S. Look, I know, okay? Is this gonna be all S? No, it's not, cuz. It's really not. And to be honest with you, I would 100% understand literally everybody on the planet not saying Drum Island is S. I get that, I fully understand. This is my personal opinion. I think it's probably impossible for people to not know that Chopper is my favorite crew member. Matter of fact, I got gangster gang famalam right here. This is my goat. This is my dog. Chopper is, like I said, without a doubt, my favorite crew member. He's my favorite One Piece, might be my favorite anime character in general. I related to Bro a lot, specifically when I started watching the show, and time kind of moved on like that, if you get what I just really like Chopper, and I think the way they told his story was amazing, and I think the rest of what went down in Drum Island was cool too, so I just kind of cooked. Only thing I wish there's a little bit more Zoro, but besides that, I loved everything. Jaya, that's a calm. Yeah, that's a calm B. I can understand a lot of people saying that's probably too high. But, for me personally, it's probably just, early episode nostalgia, I'll be honest. But I just genuinely love, the older episodes. And I really like the part with Luffy, obviously, where he goes back to the town, he stands on business. But, there's not a whole lot that's super memorable, but it also sets up a couple things. Overall, it's a short arc, and I miss these short arcs. I really miss the times when we had short arcs like this. We don't really get that anymore, and it's a solid little calm little arc. It kind of these short arcs are kind of like brain chillers, where you can relax for a second and unwind, even though they set up so much stuff in the story, most likely. Long Ring, Long Land. Okay. To be honest with you, I don't think there's any arc that's actually F. But if we're speaking in the grand scheme of things, as if we're speaking in like just One Piece terms, and one has to be F, it's gonna be this. This is like, this is probably my least favorite arc in One Piece. It was just kind of, it wasn't, okay, no, I've never been bored with One Piece. But it was kind of just like, annoying? Nah, it wasn't annoying. I'm not exactly sure, but I just was kind of annoyed a little bit. And I'm just gonna be honest, they did the boy Chop dirty. But I don't hate this arc. I want that word to be known. Water 7, amazing. That's a Water 7's S. When you think about it, there's a lot of great moments in Water 7. For one of my favorite moments is the walk to the Frankie house. I love that. I'm probably gonna bring up Chopper a lot in this, but as you guys know, the Arlong walk did not have Chopper. This one, however, did. He stood on business. I remember even saying to my brother who got me into One Piece, I said, I want to see a scene like Arlong Park with Chopper. Then I see this. But, yeah, he stands on all types of business. There's the fight with Luffy and Usopp, which obviously has tons of emotion involved. It really takes the show serious for a good chunk of time. Sanji just has a whole lock-in arc. A whole lot of lock-inage happens here. And just like the overall exploring and the characters in Water 7 are great. And like the transition to Water 7 to Enies Lobby, the way like they reveal how the characters are like traders and ops and all that, it's fire. Now Enies Lobby is an instant S. I think out of every scene I've rewatched after watching the show, it's been when they're all standing on business and they're telling Robin, "Hey, say it, you want to live." That's the scene, because I remember that scene probably had me like the most hype I've ever been in One Piece. I was so hype because like they're all standing Avenger style. Like anytime there's a form of media that I mess with heavily, and there's it doesn't have to be something I mess with heavily, but there's multiple characters that you've seen in previous things or whatever, previous episodes, all locked in together like that, and it's the One Piece crew standing on business like that for another crew member. Plus, we learn about Robin like that, who's ever since Alabaster's just been kind of a mystery. It's fire. It's fire. Frankie, really, he wrote in locking. He stepped in at me. He said, he really, you know, and the villains, amazing. What are you gonna say? Rob Lucci was great. He felt like a villain. I didn't have pity on, bro. I like that. Everything, I just enjoyed it very much. The end fight was also fire. With and the Mary and all that. Can't get much better. Post Enies Lobby, call him C. That's like the whole bounty stuff that was extremely fire, and I just like the part when Sanji got his little spices. That was fire. Thriller Bark. I gotta think on this one. Hold on. Thriller Bark gets an A. I know Thriller Bark gets some slack sometimes, and I definitely think it's deserved. It's not the best One Piece arc by any means, but it's also really good. It's hilarious. It's one of the funniest arcs in my opinion. We obviously get Brook, and like I don't know. I'm just a fan of like my favorite Marvel character, or two of my favorite Marvel characters are Blade and Ghost Rider, and I'm just kind of a fan of like the evil-esque like devils and zombies and demons, all that, vampires, all that. I'm a fan of that kind of stuff, like the hero stopping that kind of stuff. And this is essentially what that was. They were kind of like all up in this zone stopping that. It was fire. Sabuya. Oh, it's just Sabuya. Like before, not going or returning. Also A. I think, to be honest, I think everything in Sabuya was like alright. And then when, Kuma does his due diligence and sends them all off, I think that was like peak. Not only did it show the Straw Hats like legitimately lose for once, which is a rare occasion to say the least, but like it really showed them that like they're not, because like as long as this show has been a thing, the Straw Hats have just kind of been an invincible team, right? But this is kind of the first instance where they were like, nah, this is not that. They can be beat. And they had to lock in. And it also shows the emotion behind everybody, how much they love each other. Because you can see Chopper clearly, he took the Rumble Balls, knowing he was going to turn Monster Point when he seen everybody was getting murked. Luffy was genuinely tweaking out. I've never seen Luffy act like, at least in that moment of One Piece, it's the first time you ever see Luffy lose it. He's always goofy 24/7. He really locked in. It's a heavy moment, and it's peak. That's why it's definitely A. Without that scene, obviously, I'd probably put it somewhere like C, probably, but it definitely gets A. Romance Dawn. I mean, Romance Dawn. I'll give Romance Dawn a clean A. I give it lower, but like it's the start of everything, and I kind of don't. You know what I mean? It's me personally. I don't really feel like I need to say much about it. It's Romance Dawn. We all kind of. I feel like we all, in a sense, share the same opinion relatively to it. Amazon Lily. Okay, hot take. Actually, I don't know if that's a hot take, but yeah, I really Amazon Lily was alright to me. I remember I was geeking when Luffy used Conqueror's Haki for the first time. I was tweaking out, matter of fact, I thought that was fire. But that was really about it. Obviously, I like Boa Hancock. Who's not like, you know what I mean when I say I like Boa. Okay, let me chill. I like Boa. I like her character. Her character. But like also, see, I gotta stop this. I like Boa Hancock. But besides her and Luffy using Haki, there's not a whole lot I really cared for. Now, this is me personally. I love the way Oda went through with like separating the Straw Hats, making them train and come back, right? I love that. I really do. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say like when this first happened, I wasn't upset. I wouldn't change anything now. But in the time of watching this, it's kind of sad because like you've seen the Straw Hats together the whole time, and I just hate in any form of media when like a team gets split up or something and it just throws off the balance of everything. And Luffy was just like, he was not in his element right here. He didn't really understand what was going on. Bro couldn't even build a boat. You could genuinely see how bad Luffy was struggling without his crew. And it was tragic, let me tell you. And then on top of that, the Amazoners, whatever their group name is, I don't remember. They were just annoying to me. Real talk. They're not now, obviously, but like at the time, they were very annoying. But you get the narrative. Impel Down. A. Impel Down is great. Impel Down is phenomenal. I just don't put it in S because there's something about these arcs. I don't know what it is. It very well could be old show nostalgia that's I mean, I don't really have like nostalgia like because I didn't watch it until like a year ago, but like you know what I mean, the animation. It could be that reason. I'm not knocking that, but there's something about those four arcs that just hit in a certain way, for me personally, that Impel Down doesn't. But it's still amazing. It's still so good. It's so Impel Down 1 brings back Buggy. Obviously, Buggy was great. He's great. We didn't see Buggy in a minute. He's great in it. Bon Clay locks the freak in. It was also nice to see Mr. 3. Bro, I didn't know Bon Clay was a goat like that. I didn't know. And then the sacrifice. It was also crazy to see Crocodile back. I love Crocodile. I think he's cool. And Mr. 1, the boy with the blades, you know. It was a whole cool moment. And once again, it was another rare moment in the show where Luffy actually loses for once. The emotion that it goes through when he's getting the poison sucked out of him or whatever, and like he's locking in and all that, it's very tragic. It's very sad. But it's a whole situation. And you can really feel the emotion behind everything when Luffy really wants to save Ace. And then he meets Jinbei. Jinbei helps him. It's crazy. It's all around, it's a very good setup to future things, and it's just peak. It's very great. Marineford. S. Marineford is like, what I was saying about Impel Down is kind of what I feel with Marineford. It's a very, like, I don't know how Oda does this because he's a genius, but in most media, right? Almost in all media, when there's a big battle like this, even like take Endgame for example, Avengers Endgame, I mean, the characters that you see are like all characters that you've seen before. Like for example, with Endgame, you've seen Black Panther, Cap, Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Guardians, Doc, Strange, all of them who are characters you've seen before. Marineford, the thing I love about Marineford, not only did it show past characters that, you know, make sense to be there, but it also showed characters that you've never seen before get introduced into this arc. Because, realistically, right, not everybody that you've seen before is gonna be here. That being it. It's gonna be new people, especially people that are gonna be important in the future, which is exactly what this arc set up. On top of that, we obviously have the spoiler. I'm not gonna say it, but we obviously have the spoiler. A very emotional moment. It was one of two moments I cried in One Piece, the other one being Chopper's backstory. Give me a break, bro. Give me a break, okay? I'm sorry. Dang. It was very great though. The emotion was there. Kobe also locked in. We saw Shanks again. And overall, it was just a huge emotional moment. Also, the moment when Luffy's standing against all three admirals. That's one of my favorite moments in all of One Piece ever. I rewatched that scene a lot too. Whitebeard, obviously. Blackbeard being the op that he is. Little punk. But it's amazing. And it shows Jinbei's loyalty. That's the start of it. It's all just straight peak. Post-war. This is like a calm... It's like a calm B. The best part is obviously Luffy's like waking up and exception and everything. But it's just kind of like, it's what you would expect from after Marineford. Nothing crazy. Return to so okay. Hey. It's like, I was gonna put it in S, but it's like a return, you know, nothing crazy. But it's calm. Fishman, Fishman gets a B. Me personally, I actually really like Fishman, but like I know a lot of people dislike it. I actually personally really like it. I think it's a great arc, and I love the fact that in the end battle they all walk up together. It's like as I mentioned earlier in Ennis Lobby when they're all standing together Avenger style, this is the only time in One Piece, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure this is the only time when all the Straw Hats have stood together and fought together like that in a battle. And it was so fire. It also showed all their power ups and everything. I think Horty was. I don't think Horty was a bad villain. I just think he was weak, which that's not necessarily a bad thing. um. Yeah, but to be honest with you, there's not a lot of like moments that stand out to me. Only things I can really like remember off the bat like that are the end battle and Sanji being an idiot for like 50 minutes simping, but that's Sanji. Punk Hazard. Punk Hazard is a D. Crazy, I know. Punk Hazard is the only arc in One Piece out of every single arc where I genuinely for a second like unlocked from the show and thought to myself, this is boring. No, I'm not saying I dislike Punk Hazard because every arc on this tier list I like to an extent. But Punk Hazard, for some, I don't know why I don't care for it so much. But something about Punk Hazard, I just don't really care for. And I was so excited to get to this arc too because I like the idea of the fire and ice island. But I even love Smoker. I liked the way everything worked, but I mean it is a setup arc, so it's not meant to be anything crazy. But there was no end fight with Caesar, which kind of made me salty. And I don't know. I can't explain really why I was so bored. I just was, and then like I thought those one Yeti dudes were cool though. I thought they were a calm low vibe, but I don't know. I don't know why I didn't care for this as much as others. Now Dressrosa, S. I love Doflamingo, favorite One Piece villain. He's the GOAT. He's the guy. I'm not gonna talk about Dressrosa too much because I feel like everybody really knows Dressrosa like that. I love it, and there's no Chopper, and I still love it. I still S, so it's crazy. So it's like it's a calm like. It's a calm B. There's nothing insane about it, honestly. The reason I'm debating between B and C is because like I was so excited to get this arc. To see Chopper, Nami, all the crew. I seen them. I was like, all right, let's go. That's how it felt for me. But yeah, I guess B is fair. Whole cake. Whole cake is great. I have whole cake in A. Whole cake is great. Obviously we have the goated Jinbei scene. We all know the goated scene ever created. Brook locking in. This dude Brook. Not only did he 1v1 Big Mom, obviously he lost. He broke the portrait. He was the one who locked in. Brook had a major lock-in arc. This dude did a GTA 5 heist to get the poneglyph. He was locked. I love Brook in this arc. I love Chopper and Carrot's side quest little thingy, Majigger Bob. And obviously Luffy's fight is one of the greatest fights in One Piece. It's like neck-to-neck match. I love it. And it's fairly long too. Orange Town. It's like it's a calm B. It's a calm B. You know, like nothing too crazy happens. It's Buggy's introduction. We do love some Buggy. And like pure nostalgia reasons it makes me want to put it in S or A, but there's no like nothing that really stands out. But Buggy is kind of crazy in this arc, I will be honest. Reverie. F. I'll put it in D. No, I'll put it in C. Because it has a lot of setup. Like, I mean, it's boring because it's just people talking, but it does have a lot of setup. There's like, you get my point. Whole lot of Usopp. Whole lot of Usopp. Sura is A. I'd say it's A. Personally, I really like it. The little crusty kids, whatever their names were, I don't remember. I shouldn't hate them. And I hate kids in almost every media. Not trying to be like edgy or whatever. They're just annoying most of the time. But no. Usopp had his moment. He also rizzed up. Not more than live action Usopp. Live action Usopp was really in there, but Usopp tried. He tried his best. But overall, it's a solid arc. I really like it. Wano. Honestly, I'll give Wano A because of animation purposes. But I don't know why. I thought Wano was good. And like I like it. But it just wasn't like the greatest thing I've ever seen, if that makes sense. Like, I like the story of like the way they came to Wano, or Kaido came to Wano, took it over and everything. I liked it. But like there are a couple things I just feel like, for one, I feel like Chopper could have cured the smile fruit disease. And like I just feel like it didn't have to be as long as it was, if that makes sense. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm tweaking. Maybe I'm tripping. Let me know. But I still like it. It's really good. And obviously, we got Gear 5. Almost forgot about that, actually. Gear 5 was peak. I remember I watched it with my brother live because we were so geeking. I couldn't even get on Crunchyroll. And bro got on. He's like, yo, just get in the Discord call. It was peak. I won't lie. That was peak. So that definitely does boost it up. Bartier. So it's also a clean A. I just like the Bartier. Just nostalgia-esque factors, man. Arlong Park, S. Come on now. Arlong Park is just... I love Arlong Park. The walk, the fight, the emotion with Nami's backstory. Peak. B. Yeah, B. Yeah, I gotta think about it, but yeah. A reverse mountain. Am I tweaking? I don't know then. Is this with what's the dude's name? The whale? Brook dude that I can't remember his name for some reason right now. Laboon? Is this with Laboon? I'm pretty sure this is with Laboon. If this is the arc I'm thinking of, I'll give it B. It's called the arc. Whiskey Peak. Am I tweaking? Oh yeah, Whiskey Peak. Okay, Whiskey Peak. Also a B. Nothing insane happened, but I kind of like the way that Zoro was locked in. The Luffy versus Zoro was crazy though. That was crazy. Little Garden. Little Garden's A. It's crazy because like I remember the entire time I was in Little Garden, I wanted to get out for some reason. It's probably because Chopper was so close. And then when now that I look back at it, it's actually a very solid arc. I really like it. I don't know, it just had a vibe to it. And the Giants, obviously, it was good times. I think there's some good Usoppage in there too. Which, like, anytime we get a good Usopp moment, it's locked. Skypiea. Ooh, the controversial one. I think Skypiea I like Skypiea a lot, actually. I don't know why people dislike it as much as they do, but me personally, I actually really like Skypiea. I know it's not a perfect arc by any means, but I just thought it was a good arc. It kind of felt like, out of all the times like the Straw Hats have explored, this one felt like it really like locked into the exploring aspect the most. Like, they literally went into an island in the sky, bro. And they explored that entire island. That was fire, was it not? And Eminem obviously was a great villain, and it was even more fire that Luffy was immune to the electric. And like everybody had some good moments in there. Everybody had like their 1v1s, I believe. There were just some of the most comical moments in that arc too. I feel like, with Chopper trying to protect the boat. It was peak. I'm really like, as I'm saying this, I'm thinking of Skypiea moments, and I'm genuinely enjoying even the adventure there they had. It was amazing. I know a lot of people do not care for it all that much, but I just like to say I really genuinely do care for Skypiea a lot. But that's just me, man. So there y'all go. 31-minute video. That's actually, it's probably longer than that. See that yawn? That's from me yapping. So I'm gonna stop yapping. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.